Hey, what's up, you guys? Loco here. LCS final happened, LEC final happened. I'll be reviewing both. I probably want to do a recap on every single one of the finals actually, and yeah, I'll be giving it to you guys throughout the week. Don't forget to check them all out. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I switched glasses. So normally I have two glasses that I wear. This clear one, which one I think is a little bit more fashionable and that I like, but it has like a scratch down the middle, so I've been wearing this one. I don't know, dude. Corona and the whole quarantine situation has got me going crazy. I have to talk about some things, right? And you guys are my friends, other than my roommates that I see on a daily basis. So I wanted to let you know. But yeah, C9 versus FlyQuest. I think I got every single prediction correct, even like the score line. But yeah, C9 versus FlyQuest. Let's start with the draft as always. Let's take a look at the bans. So for Cloud9, they're doing pure target bans, and that is a strategy from blue side, as you have the first pick, and if you're willing to trade out the picks and ban out the ones you're uncomfortable with, it's a good strategy to go with. So Rakan, Ignar's been amazing on it, that's a no-brainer. Trundle, that one's a little odd, them banning Trundle, but I think it really enables what FlyQuest wants to do. FlyQuest likes playing front to back with heavy tank line and heavy back line, and Trundle really enables that. It doesn't matter if you have a really tanky champion like Ornn on your team, Trundle gets to negate a lot of that, and we saw that in the EG versus FlyQuest series. Kumo would pick Ornn, and FlyQuest would just draft a front-to-back comp, and because they have Trundle, it doesn't matter if you have someone extremely tanky, Trundle's able to steal away all your tankiness and make you really squishy for the moment. And lastly, Syndra. I didn't mention it last time we talked about FlyQuest versus TSM, but a reason why C9 and other teams ban Syndra versus FlyQuest is Turtle is one of the very few players in North America that can play Syndra bot lane. And Syndra bot lane is really interesting because it allows you to pick Syndra early and you can flex it both mid and bot, and it's a really great counter pick into Aphelios. He has the lowest base MR in the entirety of the game, so he's really vulnerable to champions like Syndra. Imagine playing versus Syndra Leona, Syndra Blitzcrank. Actually, that's probably the other reason. FlyQuest is probably the best kill lane bot lane duo. Ignar, one of the best hook supports, one of the best aggressive supports, so Turtle plus Ignar is probably the only duo that can really sufficiently run a kill lane in North America with Syndra. Now, when we look at FlyQuest bans, these are also target bans. Zoe, it's one of Niski's best champion. Tahm Kench, a pick Cloud9 is very comfortable with. Tahm Kench Varus, we've seen a lot of that. Tahm Kench Aphelios. Senna, one of Zban's best champions. So yeah, both teams just banning out what the other team has been really comfortable with, and they feel like there aren't extreme OPs in the game that they need to be really controlling. And Cloud9 has a choice of Set or Ornn in the first pick, and them deciding to go with Set. There is something I do want to caveat. One thing they could have done was Aphelios first pick and split the Ornn and the Set difference, but instead they want to first pick Set and give over the Ornn and the Aphelios. They feel comfortable doing it. FlyQuest taking Ornn and Aphelios, it's what's left on the table. They should take it, no questions asked. And Cloud9 responding with Misfortune Nautilus. Ooh, I'm a little surprised about this one because this is going kind of far back, right? Where in the earlier part of the season, we saw a lot of Misfortune and Nautilus, but how to phrase it? They're very strong in obvious ways. Misfortune is strong in lane and she's strong in teamfights. Nautilus is okay in lane and he's really good in teamfights, but these are champions with very clear counterplay patterns, so let's see how Cloud9 does play with them. And we can talk about it in game, kind of Misfortune's strength. It's going to be majorly how she's using her ult in teamfights and her weakness. After 2 items, it gets really awkward for Misfortune because you build Essence Reaver and then you build Infinity Edge and you feel really strong because those 2 items really help you with your ult. But after that, you start building attack speed and you're not that great of an AD carry. After your 2 items, getting onto the 3rd item, you don't feel that great as a Misfortune. Sure, you're still building crit, but you don't have any utility, you just have pure damage. And your ult starts falling off, and yeah, versus champions like Aphelios, the tide really turns towards that champion when you get to 3 items. And FlyQuest finishing off the first rotation of their draft with the Pantheon pick. I thought they could have gone with their support pick here. I'm kind of curious why they delayed it. They probably wanted to see the mid and jungle pick first. But yeah, they already see the support and the bot lane they're going to be playing versus, and it's very normal to draft the support here. Pantheon really isn't a priority pick. There's a lot of junglers left, so yeah, a little bit odd that FlyQuest took Pantheon on 3. Now, FlyQuest banning out Nocturne and Olaf, these are champions that are very aggressive and have a lot of priority in the jungle in the early portion of the game, and something that Cloud9 has shown a lot of success on. Now, Cloud9, on the other hand, banning out LeBlanc and Kassadin. These are champions that Power of Evil likes to play that have really good counter pick potential. Kassadin, one of the best counter picks ever. If you can get Kassadin into the right matchup, that champion is so freaking good. As for LeBlanc, it's a good counter pick champion, but the fact that it's being set up by the Pantheon pick is probably why Cloud9 ended up banning it. Because yeah, there is very little counterplay to Pantheon flash stunning you, and LeBlanc using W chain, that gank is just unplayable. So very interestingly, FlyQuest opts to blind pick their mid lane with Azir here, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to have questions about that. Why did they blind pick their mid lane here? Don't they want to save the mid lane counter pick? I think in most normal cases you do want to save it, but by FlyQuest picking Azir here, they're just locking themselves as a superior teamfight comp. When you have the Ornn as the front line, when you have the Aphelios and the Azir, you have one of the best backlines in the game right now. So yeah, they're telling Cloud9, hey, we like playing teamfight. We're going to draft the best teamfight comp possible. Let me see what you have. So there are counter picks into Azir, most notably champions with kill potential or champions with poke. So the poke champions are stuff like Xerath, Vel'Koz, Varus. These don't really see play in NA right now. And I also don't know if Niski has these champions in his pool. And also the other way you can go is more of the assassination route. So stuff like Fizz, stuff like Zed. It is a very one-dimensional style and a very hard style to make work in pro play. So yeah, Niski also not going to be playing those. Instead, he's actually going to opt into Veigar. So Veigar is a really nice pick in the sense that you can really push away Azir in teamfight and make life really difficult for him. By placing your cage in the middle of their backline, Azir has to back off. And Azir is not a poke champion. He is a sustained damage champion. And as an Azir, you really hate being pushed out and not being able to do your pokey with your soldiers in Q. It is a very classic counter pick, something that Nemesis actually showed a lot of success with in 2019 World. And also Cloud9 going to be pairing it with the Kindred. So by taking the Kindred, they also opt more into the teamfight potential. Now Cloud9 also has a very scary backline with the Misfortune, with the Veigar, with the Kindred. They're kind of matching the fire with fire. Hey, you have a strong backline? We're also going to have a strong backline. Also, one thing that Kindred does is it also enables Blabber to continuously play his aggressive, invade heavy, skirmish heavy playstyle. Kindred is not a sit back and farm champion. She is, I want to duel you early, I want to take your camps early, hey guys, come the fuck over here and help me fight early champion. And lastly, FlyQuest finishing off with Blitzcrank. So Blitzcrank is the kill lane into the hook lanes. So whenever you see a hook champion picked like Nautilus or Thresh, you can pick Blitzcrank and you'll have more kill threat over them. Whenever both champions hook each other, Blitzcrank hook wins out. And also, his is more, there's just more power into his hook. Yeah, you just have more kill threat on it, you have more gank assist on it. One thing that you'd lack compared to the other champions is utility. Thresh and Nautilus will bring utility whenever they are played. Blitzcrank, you bring zero utility and you're all about landing the hooks in lane and also vision controlling later on and landing the hooks and trying to get something going. Now let's rearrange the picks because we talked about the draft order, the ban order, and what the thought process was probably behind all these picks, and we can talk about both comps in totality. So for FlyQuest, like I mentioned before, very traditional teamfight comp. They have good frontline with Ornn. Pantheon also not that bad in teamfight actually. This version of Pantheon is way better than the Pantheon of before. The Pantheon of before, honestly, once you got to teamfight phase, you were not a champion unless you were really ahead. You had a role in terms of one-shotting someone. But yeah, outside of that, the old Pantheon really had no role in teamfight, but this Pantheon actually has a role. You can stun someone and then you can buy time and wait for your stun to come again using your E. His E is really powerful in terms of being able to block stuff. It's like a Braum shield. He finally has utility beyond I'm a kill champ. And yeah, they have some outplay potential with the Blitzcrank, but FlyQuest comp is really powerful when they get to 3 items, and that's what they're really looking to do. Get Azir, get Aphelios to their 3-item power spikes, and then start teamfighting with the 3-item carries upgraded by Ornn with the good front line. It's a very straightforward comp that focuses on scaling, teamfighting, and making sure you're in the right formation and not allowing random stuff to happen. Cloud9 comp, on the other hand, has a lot of different tools but they aren't straight up stronger in a team fight. So Cloud9 has a really strong backline, don't get me wrong. I think they'll be even stronger than FlyQuest on 2 items. Misfortune on 2 items, very, very powerful. Same thing for Kindred, Vhagar scaling to infinity. But they just cannot outdamage what Power Beeble and what Turtle's going to be able to do on Azir and Aphelios. So they have to get really creative. They have to find picks with Vhagar. They have to find good flanks with Set. And they have to make sure they're eating cooldowns very well with the Kindred. Like the Kindred and how she uses her ult is so important. She is not an easy champion to teamfight with. She's a champion that's short range, she's a champion that's squishy, she's a champion with some mobility but actually very limited once the fight gets started and you start using the W, because your damage and your mobility are linked to the same skills and Q and W. So yeah, I would say Cloud9's comp is much harder to play out, but depending on what they can do in the early game and how proficient Niski and Blabber are at their champions, they have a chance to turn it around. It's not going to be easy, but Cloud9 loves drafting comps like this, where they have the priority early, and long as they can outskill the opponents, it's going to be fine for them. So with that in mind, now let's finally get to the gameplay. So let's start with the first kill of the game. You can see both C9 and FlyQuest trying to get control for mid lane, trying to help out their mid laners. Blabber coming in here, getting river control. But honestly, without even knowing what happens, there's no way this can work out well for C9 just due to the champions that we see here. It's a Blitzcrank and a Pantheon. This time it starts with a hook into Pantheon flash stun, but it could have gone so many other ways. It could have started with Pantheon flash stun into Blitz hook. Yeah, targeted CC combined with instant hook means C9 has to give up control, and that's kind of what they were doing. Even though they were there first, once they realized the Blitz and the Pantheon were going to be there, they started to back up, because yeah, it's a Blitz and a Pantheon. These two champions will murder you. So we're going to see both teams playing for Herald, but there's something really strange going on in bot side. Look at Turtle. He channels his recall and then he cancels it, and then he's going to do it one more time where he channels his recall and he cancels it. I have no idea what Turtle is doing here, but yeah, maybe FlyQuest decided that they don't need Turtle and he can stay bot lane and push, or maybe they decided, hey, we can't take this fight, just go push all the way, and they called for the Herald originally. I don't know what happened, but he wasted so much time channeling and unchanneling his recall. Now it's a 4v5 at Herald, it's really difficult to contest, they're going to have to give up control here. Solo probably going to have to flash out. Great hook into stun. Oh my god, if Solo got his knock up and they chained the CC properly where Blabber couldn't get his ult off, that would mean they kill Blabber and they also get this Herald and Turtle gets to stay bot lane. That was so close for FlyQuest to blow out this fight completely. A little bit better play from Solo there on the timing, and yeah, this could have gone so much different. Now Turtle did get 2 plays bottom, but Licorice is gonna come in here and save it. And there was a lot of talk on the cast about what's a worth of a Herald, right? Because Herald will give you 2 plays, but if you can stay bot lane and just push and get the 2 plays yourself, then yeah, that's sometimes even better. But there's little caveats around, like you have to move around for Herald. It's not just directly 2 plates sometimes. You also get the additional gold from it, the XP from it. You can finish off turret. Yeah, there's just a lot of little things, but most of the time, if you yourself can get 2 plates, it's about as even as getting a Herald. But there's also the waves included, so yeah, keep that in mind too. You're not just getting 2 plates, you're also getting the CS that the other guy normally won't be getting because he grouped up for Herald. So the next play we have is his top gank, and it's going to show you why Set is so dangerous to play versus. He's going to lead with Flash E into the ult, and Solo has pretty much nothing he can do. The only real counterplay he had was using W the moment Set Flash E's to deny the CC, but other than that, he literally couldn't have done anything. And that's just Set versus a melee champion. You can flash E and ult someone back at any time. He's also a really great split pusher. If you build him with Bork, he can participate in team fights even though he directly isn't tanky. He's kind of weirdly tanky with his W and also his ult, being able to deny so much CC. He's very hard to focus down. Now C9 gonna use Herald, gonna try to take this first turret, and FlyQuest wants to counterplay this. They really don't want to give up first turret to Blabber, the Kindred. Centaurian going in there, getting on top of Blabber, and Power Beeble going to be able to finish off the kill with the ult, and going to be able to deny the first turret too. Really nice. C9's all about getting Blabber started early game and making sure he gets a lot of gold, and FlyQuest being able to deny that was crucial. So this kill I'm about to show you is just all about timing. You can see C9's on the map first, they pushed out mid lane, and they're the first ones to start getting vision control. This is why recall timing is so important. Ignar gonna try to get some vision control by himself, his jungler isn't there, and also his team isn't set up. Azir doesn't have his way pushed out, nor does Aphelios, so he's just gonna be all alone. Misfortune leading with the slow on her E, following up with the Nautilus hook. Blabber went for the KS, not gonna be able to quite get it. And now FlyQuest gonna make their own play on bot side. And even though they get a decent CC chain off, they're not able to one-shot Licorice, and he's able to buy so much time with the W and the ult. And Nifty gonna port in here and pick up the kill on Centauran. And yeah, now the situation's evened out bot side, and C9 is getting so ahead in terms of mid lane, because Aphelios can't be at the turret with the Blitzcrank dead, so he's getting denied a lot. And also C9 getting damage on the mid turret, Blabber able to take farm in the jungle, and also gonna be able to start up Herald. Yeah. That one kill led to so much for Cloud9. We have Dragon coming up in 40 seconds, and let's see how both teams contest for it. For FlyQuest, they only show Turtle in mid lane while hiding Ignar. Ignar sees that ward with the pink ward, but he's not killing it because he wants to make sure that C9 has no idea where he can be. Turtle placing his turret down, trying to get control here. Really big mistake getting hooked and then knocked up, and then Misfortune ulted, he's gonna die. I mean, honestly, this is a hard contest for FlyQuest because they're on 1 item, like 1.5 more accurately, and they're still weaker than Cloud9, but yeah, Turtle getting killed like that means they're just not going to have a shot at all. C9 able to get mid turret very easily. They try to use Herald, but actually they didn't need Herald for mid turret, so it's going to go on the second turret and get the charge in. That's actually really nice. And now they can just walk straight to Dragon. Not walking straight to Dragon, getting mid control first. Vulcan gonna walk up, getting poked down by the Azir. Zben dodging the ult. Wow, dodged 2 ults actually, both Solos and Centaurans. Vulcan getting in there. Look at the Azir damage here. The pokes and Ignar with the knock up into the ult, silencing Kindred, making sure she can't get her ult off. Licorice gets in there. Zben able to walk out. But yeah, very nicely done from Ignar. I love the timing on that knock up into the ult. It made sure Kindred couldn't live and do damage. And this is a Kindred that's relatively fed. You can see her farm, 114 at 18 minutes, not bad at all. 2 kills, 1 assist, and she still has flash up. If she got that ult off there, she would live so long and do so much damage. But because they got that pick, despite Turtle getting picked off, they're going to be able to take Dragon for themselves. A sigh of relief for FlyQuest. This really prevents the snowballing, and one thing that C9 can do is the Dragon Soul threat, right? Ocean Soul, extremely powerful, and being able to get to 3 dragons on an ocean map and contest for the 4th one and forcing the other team to come to you is a really big thing. Let's see this again. That ult going in on Zben, able to nicely flash out. Blitz hook not connecting. Power of Evil doing a lot of damage on the front line. Blabber getting in there, really confident because of the ult. And that silence. Beautiful timing, just so nice. And everyone actually able to get out here. I cannot believe they took this fight without Turtle, and C9 took it without Veigar too. So this is one of the better fights FlyQuest gets, but you're going to see how crucial Azir is to this comp. They're going to start with the Ornult onto MF, into the Blitz hook, into the one shot. And they're still going to lose this fight. Because they actually don't have damage afterwards. Turtle's just on 1 item. He's trying to fight Licorice. It's a 1v3 situation, but they can barely win out. And yeah, C9 gonna be able to collapse and pick off the rest of FlyQuest. Without Azir and Aphelios having items, they don't have enough sustained damage to win the fight. So even though the fight started out really well, it's just not gonna go their way. It's gonna be a little bit different later on though, when they do actually have items and Turtle finally caught up. So we have Dragon spawning in about 40 seconds, and FlyQuest is very comfortable to teamfight. Ornn is level 14, he has both his items upgraded, he also upgraded the Infinity Edge for Aphelios. Azir on 2.5 items. They're finally turning the corner in terms of outscaling and out team fighting. But watch what C9 does. They're not going to give it up for free, but you can still see how behind they are in terms of comp wise. Vulcan going to take 1 hit, and now he's half HP. Oh my god. Chakram plus Calibrum is so dangerous. But this flash hook here, this changes everything. Power of Evil is level 15, he's been side laning and picking up all that farm. He is by far the strongest member for FlyQuest, and him dying like this means they don't have a shot at the team fight. Just watch the CC chain from C9. You can see the hook, and there's an immediate ult from Licorice. That is so important because it makes sure Pirate Evil doesn't cleanse flash out. This immediate ult, no delay, cannot do anything. And with that, they're able to pick up the single most important kill there is, and they're going to be able to deny that third Ocean Drake. Denying this dragon is huge. If FlyQuest gets this dragon, they're along solo point, they're going to be able to continuously scale. Next fight they take, Azir's going to have Death Cap, maybe even a stopwatch. Turtle's going to be working towards his third item. C9 getting this dragon was so crucial to the game. So there's Baron up, and both teams are contesting for it, and there's going to be a fight up ahead. There's so many cool moments in the fight I want to highlight. Let's start with the first one. Vulcan sidestepping this hook. Vulcan knows he's about to get stunned and hooked, so last second before he gets stunned, he actually walks a little bit forward, making sure that he can dodge the hook. This is really nice because it means he's able to survive for a little bit longer, especially with the Azir there. He would have lost so much more HP if he got hooked. Yeah, Azir still did a lot of damage to him, but Stoneplate Gargoyle plus the ult buys a lot of time. And a beautiful Misfortune ult hitting 3 members. This is the core of the champion. This is the flower of the champion. You're on 2 items and a half. It's still prime time. That ult has such a long range and such a large AoE. You really don't want to be autoing. You're not building attack speed. You just are playing the champion to get these beautiful ults. Because later in the game, your ults don't do damage. And honestly, that's where Misfortune falls off a lot. Now, look at Blabber and Turtle here. Blabber getting in there, gonna get Azir sect, and then he's gonna hop back into the ult. And also, I don't know what Turtle's thinking, but he's walking all the way in there and playing melee range Aphelios. That's not what you want to do. He has the Infernum here, he has the Severum here, he can maintain distance, use Infernum ult for big boom booms. Like, Turtle, think for a second, you don't want to be doing this. Blabber getting in there, live for longer. And now look at Pirate Evil. He's going to get stunned, and he's going to get all that damage from Veigar coming into it. But he's not going to back up. He's going to start poking like crazy. I think a lot of worse Azir players there, as soon as they're stunned by Veigar, they panic, they cleanse, and they start walking away. But Pirate Evil knows if he walks away from this fight without doing damage, they don't win this. Oh my god, look at all that damage he got off. And Turtle, he's going to end up dying without using his ultimate. There were so many chances where C9 was clumped. And yeah, it's really sad to see Aphelios being played like this. But all these kills mean C9 is able to get Baron and they're able to turn it around. I really don't think the fights are easier for C9. I think they're much, much harder. But yeah, this is why Blabber's MVP. That fight right there. Using that ult and using the Q to get back in and surviving for such a long time. He is really, truly a jungle carry. If you see on the minimap, you can see Licorice is just pushing by himself with the rest of his team on the left side of the map. And yeah, he's going to get opened on. Starting with the Ornn ult, has to flash it. Pantheon ult coming in. Ghost Flash stun. Blitzcrank loading up the hook, waiting for it. And Licorice timing the ult perfectly to deny the hook. Buying time with stopwatch and W, Misfortune ult over the wall. But yeah, he's going to go down. And with set down like that, I don't think C9 can take the fight even with the majority of the cooldowns used from FlyQuest, and they're just going to have to give that kill up. So I want to take this time to talk about scaling. I know I said scaling would be favorable for FlyQuest, but a lot of different things happen. C9 is up about 6k gold, and the X factor was Kindred. Kindred has so much gold than she should right now, and she also has so much of the marks, and she's a very mobile champion with a lot of survivability. You can see FlyQuest coming in here to try to pick. He's just going to be able to hop over the walls. Long as that champion doesn't get insta-gibbed in a team fight, I think C9 is going to be fine in a front-to-back fight. And also at this point, Niski is really, really strong. So as the Veigar, being able to get all your stacks and get that death cap, you're like a utility bot in the mid-game. But as you get items, you just turn into this monster that has potential to one-shot people. And for champions like Turtle, or Aphelios, excuse me, where it's really hard to build MR, and he can't really go Zhonya's either, right? There's very little ways he can play versus the burst. Niski, if he sees at any point Turtle's half HP, he just goes Flash Art, you're dead. And that's the life of an Aphelios. So we have an Ocean Drake coming up. That's soul point for C9. If they get Ocean Soul, they're going to be pretty much unbeatable. So both teams locked into a fight. Let's see how this fight goes. C9 leaving Vulcan behind. You're going to have to start the fight, buddy. You're going to have to be the one tanking. And yeah, you can see his HP disappear. This is late game Azir, this is late game Aphelios. Both champions are at what I would say is 3 items and a half, and they also have the death cap and the infinity edge upgraded. There's just not a champion in the game that can tank versus that. So what C9 has to do is get in there and kill the Azir and kill the Aphelios, cause yeah, they can't just take the fight front to back. Blabber getting in there, got his ult off, and now look at Power of Evil here. He's gonna dash in, push Blabber out of the ult to make sure not all of them are gonna get low HP. Cause what happens here is if Blabber is just able to hit Power of Evil and Turtle while he's in his ult, sure he's low HP, but he brings down Power of Evil and Turtle with him, and Niski can just go in and ult. Zven can just ult on top of that and finish off the low HP target. So it's so crucial that they kill him before he can do his damage. And Power of Evil is going to be able to push him out of the ult and get that insta kill. That push, get the kill, and then flash out. Beautifully done. Now Niski went in there and flash ulted Turtle, and Turtle didn't die. And Zven getting in there, Power of Evil going to kill himself to get that kill. And here, Turtle makes a huge mistake. This mistake is actually game changing. It could have turned things around for FlyQuest. But Turtle's just not going to respect the damage that Niski has. Watch what he does as he comes out of the Zanya. QW. And Turtle just deleted one shot. He doesn't recognize how much damage that dark matter can do. And he's sitting there hitting creeps. If Turtle walked out and was out of range, Aphelios is able to melt down any objective. They get that Ocean Dragon right there. They could also get that Baron. But yeah, FlyQuest had those objectives in hand and they just lose it because Turtle can't dodge the W. That's a yikes. Licorice checking all these brushes. He's curious that someone might have hit there. So before starting Dragon, he's like, oh, is the Ornn there? Is the Blitz there? What if they steal it? Or what if they start the team fight and they flank? That's why he didn't start it right away. It gets really interesting and messy. So the bad thing is, Turtle died way later in the fight, so he's gonna spawn a bit later. And cause the junglers actually ended up dying early, and C9 jungler is a carry, where FlyQuest jungler Centurion on Pantheon really isn't a carry, so C9 is gonna be able to melt this dragon, and yeah, Niski has teleport, they can't fight for it. Oh, what a turn of events. Now C9 gets Ocean Soul, able to pick up the kills afterwards too. This is where tilt comes in. FlyQuest is tilted at that point because they know they had that dragon, they know they had that Baron. The game is so close, and that one mistake means the game is just done. Yep, 3 people dead, or actually 2 people, excuse me, and also the Baron gonna go over. And that's gonna be pretty much game. Yeah. But man, Power of Evil, he is such a monster on Azir. I actually need to give this guy way more credit. I think in the regular season, I had Zizuke rated over him, but definitely in playoffs, he's been such a monster. Turtle's trying to get cute with his steal there, but it's a level 17, level 17 jungler. Smite's doing around 900 damage, 950 damage. It's really hard to steal at that point. And after that, C9 just groups up with Ocean Soul and Baron and they end the game. I don't think I really need to show you guys that. But yeah, I really like this game 1. FlyQuest going with the strategy I thought they would go with, and I was very curious how C9 would respond to the Azir, because yeah, that allows FlyQuest to be the more scaling team, the better teamfight team, and they just found ways to be a better teamfight team without a lot of flanking actually. I thought how C9 would deal with it is they would put Licorice on flanking champions, but they had him on Set, so I'm like, Set can flank, but he's not the best flanker in the world, so how did they deal with FlyQuest having a stronger back line? Just have a stronger back line by picking the Kindred forehead. It isn't that simple. There still had to be a lot of work done from the Veigar and also a lot of work done from the team to make sure Kindred can get that strong, but C9 did it. This is why they're the best team. Let me know all your thoughts and comments. I'm going to be reviewing game 2 and 3 also, and I will do the LEC one. I haven't been as interested in Europe this year, but when I heard that they played Kog'Maw and Janna, I'm like, my god, I actually have to watch those finals. And how the hell did G2 3-0 Fnatic? That's something I need answered to. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And one last thing, I'm not crazy, I'm just Loco.
Yeah, let's go. I ain't the first with the curse, with the thirst that I wanna be better, not worse, man, it hurts. I'm on this earth with my words and I put them all together, insert, cause I wanna have worth. Working hella hard till they put me in the dirt. Gonna go far, man, listen to my words.